Okay, so as I mentioned in my last video, I want to talk to you guys about some of the benefits we get from plants. There's a lot of them, but specifically immune benefits. And so I want to talk about plant phytoncides, such as alpha-pinene and beta-pinene. And these are aromatic compounds that trees release. There's many reasons they release them, but we actually can pick them up when we're around in their presence, just being in a forest. Other plants besides trees also release similar compounds. So there was several studies done in Japan in conjunction with Stanford University Medical School, looking at phytoncides and their effects on our physiology, blood pressure, cortisol levels, etc. But what I really want to focus in on is they looked at the effect of the phytoncides on our natural killer cells. So if you remember from a previous video, natural killer cells are an important component of our innate immune system, and this is important as we go into this second phase or gradual, perhaps sloppy reopening of society with the COVID-19. We're going to get exposed to it, and we need a strong innate immune system. The innate immune system is basically what we're born with, and it is our first line defense against unwanted organisms such as viruses. And adults have that, but we tend to have a weaker innate immune system than kids, and a stronger memory or immunoglobulin immune system. So kids have a very robust innate immune system, and that might be one of the reasons why they are not really affected by COVID-19. So the studies showed that just being in the forest and being around the trees increased not only the number of natural killer cells, but also the activity of the natural killer cells. And it wasn't just an effect that lasted for a day, and they were looking at serum levels, by the way, but even 7 days later there was a substantial increase in the number and activity of natural killer cells. And they even looked at this when people were not in a forest, but were even breathing in the aromas or the phytoncides from the plants, and there was a similar effect. So that's all to back up what I was telling you about, is talking about before, which is when you're out in nature, which I hope you're exercising out in nature some, is to not just be in the presence of the trees, but take a moment and smell them. So my favorites are pine, and sometimes you can just rub them in your fingers and you can smell them, but a lot of times, especially like this fir, I think it's a fir anyway, you have to actually break the needles a bit, and then you can smell that nice pine tree, Christmas tree type smell. So take a moment when you're out there and breathe that in, okay? Thank you.